Rerouting. Ready to turn right. Turn right.
department has deployed hundreds of essential personnel, public health employees to work the warming centers. So we are ready, and we will be open to reemphasize under the direction and support of Mayor John Whitmire. We are opening 12 warming centers across the city. The most accurate information on opening and closures of the warming centers will be on the OEM website or the Houston Health Department website, which is houstonhealth.org. Our number one priority to the public, as always, is safety and well-being. So that will be our goal, and as a physician, that is my mission and my promise, that under my supervision, we are going to do everything that we can to make sure that Houstonians are safe and well from the cold. Remember that as Houstonians in our climate, we are not acclimatized to the cold, and so hypothermia is a larger concern with a sudden cold like this. So please stay warm, follow the instructions of the health officials, and we're here to serve you. Our warming centers are ready, and they're open to anyone and everyone 24 hours starting on Saturday at 5 p.m.
Exit right.
Thank you, Doctor. Public safety
Exit
is
right.
our highest priority. HPD, Houston Fire, each and every day, but particularly during stressful times like this. Chief Diaz, will you come talk about your appointment HPD officers?
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to thank our media partners for getting the message out. It's important for us that we are constantly communicating during times of inclement weather. So I'd ask, the first thing is, if you have to be out, slow down. Have enough distance between the car in front of you. Perhaps right now is the time
is energized. Do not go near it. Do not touch it. Please call 713-207-2222 so that we can immediately respond to that issue. Thank you.
You know, several years ago when I was running, I said, as we go about fixing Houston, it's going to be the collaboration that gets it done. All levels go. Relationships, experience. So obviously I'm pleased to see Congressman Al Green. I respect his public service, respect being a Houstonian, someone that I've worked with as a senator for many years. Congressman, you want to comment on the status of where we find ourselves?
Thank you very much, Mayor. And I'd
Seems to live special coverage of City of Houston emergency preparations here on news.
Go straight on.
The mayor and I started collaborating earlier this year when I was appointed to Homeland Security. And I have assured him and I assure you that he and I will work together. He is eminently correct. The federal government can play a role. We're not activated right now, but FEMA comes under the Department of Homeland Security. And if ever there's a need for additional support from the federal government, then I will be here to help the mayor get that done. Finally, let me say to the mayor, I have heard your presentation by way of telephone as I was coming over. And prior to that, I heard the city of Houston give its representations. Mayor, I believe that you've done an outstanding job. I believe that you're ready to help and assist. But I also know that if you need more help, I will be here with you. My number is 713-383-9234. 713-383-9234. And we will be available 24 hours a day at that number. I'm assigning staffers to be there so we can answer phone calls if it becomes necessary. And this is a team effort, and I'm proud to be on the team with the mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Congressman. Let me answer any questions. I can't imagine there being any. You covered everything, Mario. Sure. Sure. No, I didn't. That never came out of my words. I said preparation, caution. I hope that would be the clickbait that some of my friends would like to use. I said we would ask people to be in place at midnight on Saturday. I also probably left out that I will give an update Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. This is a very fluid situation. I would like everyone that would like to go to church attend Sunday. I would like to. I'd need to. But that's going to be a decision that individuals make. The city will give our best advice and counsel. But no, I'm not asking businesses to close down. I'm asking their patrons to use their good judgment, their common sense. Look out for your family. Look out for your neighbors. I know where I will be. Well, first, I'll be riding with the chief and the health director to warming centers to make certain that I have eyes on our operation. But Houstonians need to be in place at midnight
Go straight on.
Saturday night, because in the early mornings of Sunday, the blast will be full force here. The temperatures in the teens, wind chill, single digit. Pets, plants, pipes, seniors, everybody. Look out for your neighbors. I want you to be careful, Mario. There's a couple of you I'm not going to see. Yeah. I'm going to let the chairperson that I'm very proud of that's been involved in this every step of the way.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. Our first priority is safety. We want to make sure that the safety of our riders and the safety of our operators do so, we will continue to monitor Metrolift. Now, on Monday, we will have another regular update on how services will continue depending on the weather.
Turn left.
No, rail will continue to operate on Sunday. Rail is the only exception to our service. Thank you.
Yeah. We've geared up. We have 4 in place permanently. As you know, I tried to report that we had 0 when I got there. It's a high priority. Angela Blanchard, who is our resiliency officer, got busy and actually got recovery funding. Put over 150 at our strategic location. I found out after I became mayor, we had fire and police stations without generator. I can't imagine why that hasn't been reported and someone held accountable. We were sending people to the warming centers when we had no energy. The hub, the Kashmir, that's gotten so much notoriety, had no generator. It does today. So we have 4 permanent, working with CenterPoint. We have been able to install 9 locations. The other 3 are high priority. Sir? There'll be 3 that won't. But we monitor them very carefully and we'll take care of the residents. About 1,500. But let me emphasize, we put a cap on it. There is no cap. We don't turn anyone away. We are very capable of adapting to situations. See these people back here, collectively, they get things done. And it's amazing, as much as I've been so thorough about our preparation and the safety and welfare of every Houstonian. How you want to start off, Nick? Folks, any other questions?
Keep right and then exit right.
Sure.
Exit right.
Well, when I'm traveling across Houston on the weekends by myself, Randy can tell my direction, where I'm going. Leaving my house, might be going to my grandkids, might be going to eat. He knows where my trail is because I'm calling him in and reporting it. They get immediate attention. During these extreme weather circumstances, I'd like Randy to address it because he's the best.
Turn left.
It's coming up on 444 here on All Things Considered on your NPR station, News 87. We've been carrying live special coverage of a news conference from the Houston Office of Emergency Management on storm preparations ahead of what we're expecting this weekend, and we will continue that coverage throughout the afternoon here on News 87.
Each month, thousands of people become U.S. citizens, gaining the right to vote. As the Trump administration seeks to limit paths to citizenship, some groups worry that could reduce voter registration efforts. NPR's Jimena Bustillo reports.
Barbara Zai is the co-president of the League of Women Voters of D.C. Each month, her organization attends naturalization ceremonies to help new citizens become new voters.
There are maybe 125 people at each ceremony. Maybe 90% of them register to vote.
They get packets with registration forms, buttons encouraging them to vote, and flyers explaining how voting works.
We find that people, when they get to this point in the journey toward citizenship, they are really energized about exercising their full rights as U.S. citizen.
The League of Women Voters is among the various nonpartisan groups helping people across the country register to vote ahead of the 2026 midterms this fall. These groups are bracing for a new challenge: fewer people getting naturalized. There's no public data yet for the number of naturalizations for fiscal year 2025, but in D.C. this month at the federal courthouse, 104 people were naturalized, down from the usual 125, observers say. Katie Campbell-Shumway has noticed a similar decline in Houston, Texas since October.
Last year alone, in 2025, for naturalization ceremonies, we registered over 14,000 new citizens.
She's the executive director of the League of Women Voters in Houston.
This year, because of the reductions in the number of applicants who will into citizenship, we expect that number to only be around 6,500. And so it's decreased more than half.
A spokesperson for the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service said the agency will, quote, not take shortcuts in the adjudications process. There are other limits over the past year. Non-governmental groups are now barred from registering voters at ceremonies held by USCIS. So groups like the League of Women Voters can only register new citizens at ceremonies held at courthouses. The group is suing the administration over this new policy, saying it limits access to voter registration. The USCIS defends the policy and says the agency has limited resources to make sure outside groups have access to these ceremonies. Despite these changes, newly naturalized citizens told NPR that they were excited to vote this year. Here's Zaida Mesa from Guatemala, who became a new citizen in Virginia.
I love this country and I want to vote in the federal elections.
And she'll have a chance to do that during the midterm elections this year. Jimena Bustillo, NPR News, Washington.
If the dude is out there listening, he might want to turn down the radio for this next story.
Jesus, man, could you change the channel? I had a rough night and I hate Eagles, man.
Well, sadly for the Big Lebowski star, the band he hates, the Eagles, is soaring higher than ever. And that's not just like our opinion, man. Their 1976 Greatest Hits collection just became the first album ever to earn quadruple diamond status from the Recording Industry Association of America. That means it has sold more than 40 million units. The band can celebrate on stage tonight as they kick off the latest leg of their residency at the Sphere, Las Vegas.
At 4:48 on a Friday afternoon, you're listening to All Things Considered on your NPR station. We have 65 degrees here at the UH campus, and enjoy the last real warm afternoon of the weekend. We are expecting temperatures by 24 hours from now to be in the lower 40s, with rain throughout the day, shifting to freezing rain overnight Saturday through Sunday morning with a low of 31. It'll be blustery enough for the wind chill to get down to the single digits Sunday and Monday, so we have that extreme cold warning in effect, and from 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon until noon on Monday.
Did you know your gift to Houston Public Media could go twice or even 3 times as far through your employer's matching gift program? Many companies will match the charitable donations of their employees, and some even match gifts from retirees. That means your support for trusted news and programs could have double the impact for our community. Find out if your company participates at houstonpublicmedia.org/match.
Support comes from Visit Galveston, presenting Galveston Museum Weekend, an annual event highlighting a variety of museums and cultural institutions across the island, exploring local history and heritage. January 23rd through 25th. More at visitgalveston.com. Support comes from Belmont Village Senior Living, committed to enriching the lives of seniors through daily programs, custom care, and hospitality in assisted living and memory care. 2 Houston area locations. More at belmontvillage.com/Houston.
If you'd like to stay plugged in to the latest on the weather, you can, of course, follow us here at houstonpublicmedia.org. And the city of Houston has Alert Houston messaging. Just text HTX Winter to 888-777. Again, that's HTX Winter to 888-777. Again, right now at 65 here at the UH campus at 450.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Elsa Chang.
And I'm Scott Tetro. This week, Israel bulldozed the Jerusalem offices for the main United Nations agency that provides health and education services to Palestinians. Power and water will be cut next week at the agency's remaining facilities. This is all part of a bitter standoff between the UN and Israel, as NPR's Emily Fang reports.
This is what remains of the UNRWA site in East Jerusalem. It's now closed, but you can still see these piles of crumpled metal, wooden beams, concrete. The demolition of UNRWA was sudden.
We got notice when they turned up, at the Jerusalem facility.
This is Jonathan Fowler, an UNRWA spokesperson. The agency was once the backbone of social services for many Palestinians in East Jerusalem and across the Israeli-occupied Gaza Strip and West Bank.
If the water and electricity is cut from the clinic and the clinic is forced to cease operating at the end of this month, there is no alternative.
No alternative for these people, he says. Aryeh King, one of Jerusalem's deputy mayors, disagrees. He's been pushing to close down UNRWA for years.
They never pay rent. They build their enormous illegal buildings.
UNRWA disputes this. They say they started renting the land from the country of Jordan long before Israel took control of East Jerusalem after the 1967 war. But the bigger issue Aryeh King points out is he believes UNRWA sponsors violent terror. The agency fired about 24 of its employees, but never conceded to accusations they were among Hamas militants who attacked Israel on October 7th, 2023. An independent review led by a former French foreign minister said that Israel did not provide evidence to support its claims against UNRWA.
Suddenly people understood what UNRWA is all about. Brainwashing children, ads in young children in East Jerusalem, Arab young children that are brainwashed against Jews, against Israel.
UNRWA says it's committed to neutrality in all of its activities. That includes educating about 500,000 Palestinians. UNRWA also provides a lot of basic services for them, like food assistance and healthcare. But Israel has frozen UNRWA out of Israel and stopped it from delivering aid in Gaza. And King believes Israel will close another UNRWA facility soon, an educational training center just outside of Jerusalem. He wants to build houses and government offices on the UNRWA sites. The agency, really the entire United Nations, King says, is not needed.
It's an organization motivated by all kinds of agendas, mainly against Jews everywhere in the world, and specifically against Israel.
And this week, Israel was among the first wave of countries that confirmed membership on a new Board of Peace just launched by President Trump, an organization that critics fear could undermine the influence of the UN. Emily Fang, NPR News, Jerusalem.
All right, each Friday, a ton of great new music is released, and we get to talk about the most exciting album of the week with excellent DJs from NPR member stations for New Music Friday. This week, we got legendary Americana songwriter Lucinda Williams, who returns today with a new album called World's Gone Wrong. Here to break it down with me is Jesse Scott of member station WMOT in Nashville. Hey, Jesse.
Hello. So good to be here.
Hello. So, Lucinda Williams, I mean, she's been putting out music for more than 45 years? Does this latest album feel like new terrain for her?
Yes and no. There's common themes that you will find that run throughout her career. There's a healing process, a personal healing process that you hear in her voice over the course of the last several years. It's been difficult as she recovered from her stroke, but she's back. And then on top of that, she has delved in the past into protest music, and that's continued on this album as well.
Protest music. Was this album intended to be a protest album?
Actually, it was. She was planning a different album, but she said last year that she felt an urgency to address the current situation and created World's Gone Wrong in response. She was quoted as saying, "Music is a powerful weapon. I want this record to make people aware, wake them up." Now, there's a protest element to this whole album, specifically on the song, How Much Did You Get For Your Soul, which has a protest narrative, though she doesn't name names, and also has just this great 60s garage band jingle jangle.
How much did you get for your soul? How much did you get for your soul? How much did you get for your soul? How much did you get for your soul?
Is it weird that I like to dance to something that's a protest song? Because I'm moving in my chair right now.
It's my favorite track on the album, insidious as it is. Lucinda has a way of narrating life and kind of spoon-feeding it to you so that indeed You can dance, but yet you're thinking. I think that's such a gift.
Dance and think. Okay, but I have to ask you about the album's title, World's Gone Wrong, which sounds pretty bleak, Jesse. Well, I mean, the music is obviously not all doom and gloom. I'm already, moving in my chair.
There's actually a lot of hope and a lot of joy on this and all Lucinda albums, even in the title track, which, by the way, is a collaboration with Brittany Spencer. About our broken world, there's still a reminder to experience joy.
She holds him tight and softly smiles. Says, baby, let's put on some miles. And dance barefoot across the tiles. And forget our troubles for a little while.
Lou has always been in touch with everyday people and really represents the poetry of common existence.
And I understand that Lou also collaborated with some really revered artists on this album, right? Can you tell me more about some of these guest stars?
There's a song with Norah Jones, We've Come Too Far to Turn Around Now. Very Lucinda Williams, Car Wheels kind of vibe to it. So a continuation of sentiment that she has covered before. And then she covers the Bob Marley tune, So Much Trouble in the World, with backing vocals by Mavis Staples.
So much trouble in the world. All you gotta do is give a little, give a little, give a little.
I love the percussion of that.
Yeah.
So much trouble in the world. Takes you to the islands, doesn't it?
It does. Thank you so much, Jesse.
Thanks for having me.
Lucinda Williams' new album, World's Gone Wrong, is out today. And you can hear more from Jesse Scott of WMOT in Nashville on NPR Music's new Music Friday podcast.
So much trouble in the world. So much trouble.
Thank you for listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Progressive Insurance. Building a career is possible at Progressive Insurance, now offering virtual and hybrid employment opportunities with pathways for advancement. Learn more at careers.progressive.com. From the Walton Family Foundation, working to create access to opportunity for people and communities by tackling tough social and environmental problems. More information is at waltonfamilyfoundation.org. And from the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, supporting creative people and effective institutions committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world. More information is at macfound.org.
We're a minute away from 5 on a Friday afternoon here on your NPR station, News 87. We're starting to see a smattering of rain popping up around Navasota, Brenham, Prairie View. We're expecting showers overnight with a low around 50. Tomorrow sunrise at 7:16. Rain throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures falling to the lower 40s by the late afternoon. And a cold weather warning kicks in tomorrow evening at 6.
Support for Houston Public Media comes from Baylor College of Medicine. With 125 years of innovation behind it, Baylor has driven progress in health and medicine through research, education, and care that push the frontiers of modern science.
65 degrees under overcast skies right now here at the UH campus. And it's All Things Considered on your NPR station, KUHF Houston News 88.7. A service of the University of Houston, 5 o'clock.
This wintry mix could be potentially dangerous for the entire state.
Tens of millions of people in the eastern half of the U.S. are in the line of what will likely be a major winter storm this weekend.
For Friday, January 23rd, this is All Things Considered from NPR News.
I'm Scott Detrow.
And I'm Elsa Chang. Tensions remain high in Minneapolis, where widespread protests against ICE are taking place today.
We'll hear from people in the neighborhood where Renee Macklin Good was killed. It is the same neighborhood where 6 years ago, George Floyd was murdered.
It's completely stressful, scary for everybody. It's terrible.
And over the past year, the Trump administration has closed, cut, and reframed scores of federal science initiatives.
People who have a very coherent set of views are always like, is Trump one of us? Is he against us? You know, that kind of thing. And it's neither is the case.
First News. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Rylan Barton. A massive ice and snowstorm will blanket much of the country this weekend. NPR's Debbie Elliott reports more than 200 million people are in the path of the storm from the Rocky Mountains to New England.
Forecasters are predicting widespread travel disruptions, prolonged power outages, and frigid temperatures over nearly 2/3 of the eastern U.S. More than a half dozen governors from Texas to New York have declared states of emergency. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein says it's a serious and dangerous storm.
Between snow, sleet, ice, freezing rain, and bitterly cold temperatures, this storm is expected to cause major disruptions to your daily life, possibly for days.
States are staging power crews and pulling up National Guard troops, while local governments are opening inclement weather shelters and warming stations. Debbie Elliott, NPR News.
Protesters filled the streets for blocks in downtown Minneapolis, chanting for federal immigration officials to get out of the city. That's despite sub-zero temperatures, as NPR's Kat Lonsdorf reports.
Hundreds of businesses are closed across the state, and people called out from school and work. Becky, an elementary school teacher who asked to be identified by her first name only for fear of retaliation from ICE at her job, says she showed up because right now she feels like a bodyguard for her students.
We have sheltered in place when ICE has been in our vicinity. We walk our kids to their cars now instead of just dismissing them.
Meanwhile, President Trump has put another military battalion on standby, meaning more than 2,000 active duty troops are ready for possible deployment to Minnesota. Kat Lonsdorf, NPR News, Minneapolis.
A Pentagon contractor has been indicted for allegedly leaking classified documents to a Washington Post reporter. NPR's Ryan Lucas reports.
5 of the counts against Aurelio Perez Lugones are for the transmission of national defense information, with a 6th count for the unlawful retention of it. The indictment says between October and January, Perez Lugones repeatedly removed classified information from his workplace and provided it to a reporter. Some of that classified information then turned up in at least 5 articles written or co-authored by the reporter. The indictment does not name the journalist, but it is known to be Hannah Nathanson of the Washington Post. The FBI searched Nathanson's home last week as a part of the investigation, a move that sparked concern among free press advocates. Ryan Lucas, NPR News, Washington.
Philadelphia is suing the Trump administration for removing an exhibit on slavery at Independence National Historical Park. It's the site of the mansion where George and Martha Washington lived with the people they enslaved. The Interior Department cited President Trump's executive order, saying it's, quote, restoring truth and sanity to American history. Stocks closed mixed today. You're listening to NPR News.
Live from News 88.7 in Houston, I'm Gail DeLauder. Preparations continue for this weekend's cold weather. Space City Weather's Eric Berger told This Morning's Houston Matters rain early Sunday could cause a lot of problems on the roads because of falling temperatures tomorrow night.
And the real question then, of course, is what are the temperatures like at sunrise on Sunday and through the rest of the day? Because it's possible that some of that rain that falls Sunday morning will be freezing.
It's expected northern parts of greater Houston will feel the most effects from the weather. Local animal shelters are encouraging pet owners to prepare. News 88.7's Anna Monroe says they're recommending people stock up on food in advance.
SPCA is preparing to care for its animals during the freeze with extra food and even a backup generator if needed. Houston SPCA spokesperson Julie Kinstall highlights the importance of taking care of your pets during these conditions. Dogs, cats, and horses alike are in for a chill.
Here's the formula that you should always use. If you go outside and it's too cold for you, it's too cold for your pet.
Local shelters encourage pet owners to keep their animals indoors and to be mindful of their health. Houston SPCA provides emergency services if an animal seems in distress. The organization can be reached by phone or on their
a fresh livestock lower on the board. Running from Iowa City, Iowa to Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Time to hit the road.
Got a reefer load on the board, Fort Dodge, Iowa, down to Torreya,
Texas, leaving in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Ready to roll out, Peanut, whenever you are, buddy.
Ready to roll.
about you, Peanut? You got your ears on. Are you okay back there? Peanut, do I need to pull over for you or what? What's on?
you.